Marley Major, and I wrote a business book to solve my own problems called But Are You Making Any Money? And the title comes from a question my dad would always ask me when I started my event planning company. Well, that sounds great. All these events sound amazing. Like, I don't know who Britney Spears is, but you seem really excited about it. But I have one question for you, Marley. But are you making any money? And what I realized at the end of the day is that my small business was no different than millions of other small businesses out there. In fact, I was struggling with the same things you all are. I had to make more money and I was working all the time and I just felt like I was totally spinning my wheels, like I was on the hamster wheel. So in today's video, I'm going to show you 3 ways that you can make more money in your small business. And it doesn't matter if you have a business that's $1 million or a business that is not even started yet and you haven't even made your first dollar. It doesn't matter if you sell products and it doesn't matter if you're a service-based business. It also doesn't matter where in the world you are. These principles are principles that can be applied no matter what kind of business you've got going. So let's jump in and start. Number 1, the first way to make more money is to raise your prices. Duh. Okay. But how do you raise your prices so that you can raise them without actually raising them? So one of the ways that I have found to do this is to model what the airlines did. So the airlines said, okay, listen, all of these fares are now on the internet. So it used to be, how did you book an airline ticket? You'd call, you say, hi, American, how much is it going to cost to go from Los Angeles to New York? And they would say $525. And then you call Delta. You'd say, hey, how much does it cost to fly from? And they would say $387. And so basically it was whoever you called and whatever rate you could get, you would take. But then the internet came along with all of these websites that said, hey, listen, this is how much American's going to charge and this is how much Delta's going to charge, et cetera, et cetera. And so everybody basically had to charge the same thing, right? And they just had to have better service or better, trips, better locations. So what the airlines did was they said, fine, if we have to lower our prices because we've now got to compete with everybody else, we're going to lower our prices, but we're going to, in the end, charge more. How did they do it? Baggage fees. So how much did baggage fees put to the bottom line of the airline industry? $2 billion. That's right. Just by saying that extra $25 here, so you buy your ticket and it's like add on $25. Okay, great. So they racked up $2 billion. You might see these days a lot of hotel apps. So it'll say, okay, you compare rooms on Expedia or any of them, and it'll say, okay, here's the room rate per night. But then when you go to check out, it'll say plus $10 resort fee or plus $20 booking fee. Now, at the end of the day, is the room rate still $129? Technically, I guess, but they've got all these different ways that they're charging, so they're effectively bringing in more money. Now, the second way that you can raise your prices or that you can make more money without raising your prices is to get a lot more efficient. And if you want to get a lot more efficient, there are many ways to do it. First of all, one, of course, is to track your time, and I talk a lot about that in blogs and other videos that I've done. But tracking your time is an amazing way to see where you are really spending your time. And it is a fast track to getting a lot more efficient. Why? Because think of it like a diet. As soon as you go on a diet, right? And this is what happened to me, literally. I went on a diet because my trainer was like, I said, okay, I want to lose a little bit of weight. So my trainer's like, okay, great, eat this and do this and exercise this amount. I went back, shocker, and I had gained a pound. And she's like, how could you gain? And I was like, oh my gosh, like I literally ate exactly what you said. Like maybe my body is in ketosis. Like I don't even know, but I literally, and she's like, yeah, right. So go and write it down. Okay, well, by the time I went home and wrote it down for the next week, it was like, oh, I forgot that's right. I did have like half of my sandwich and I had like a handful of M&Ms and then I had a non-fat cappuccino, and yes, it was non-fat, but like it's not like milk has 0 calories. So then I realized that at the end of the day, all this stuff was adding up. All these calories were adding up. And that's why I wasn't losing any weight. Well, becoming more efficient is exactly the same thing. What you have to do is you have to track your time. You have to literally write down exactly what you need to do every single day And then why don't you write down exactly what you're actually doing every single day? And it is going to be magic, because you're going to find out, oh, whoops, that's right, I actually was on Facebook for 42 minutes this morning. And then I was on it again later. And then I was on it again at night. And before you know it, once you start adding up exactly what you're spending your time on, you're going to realize, wow, if I just cut out this little piece of Facebooking or tweeting or Instagramming, and I spent that 20 minutes and I switched it so that I spent 20 minutes working on my business, you're going to start to see real results. Now, the third thing, of course, is to cut your expenses. And this is something that I used to absolutely hate. I would hate looking at my profit and loss statement. I would hate looking at my credit card bills, because I was like, oh my gosh, like this is just awful. Like I hate seeing, I feel like I'm wasting money, and I'm not being very good about it. And listen, I went to Georgetown. I got my business degree. So it's not as if I don't know how to run a profit and loss statement or anything like that. I just, quite frankly, didn't like doing it. But when I decided that I wanted to start saving money in my business, I literally started going through every single line item of what I spent in my business. So you can do it on your credit cards, you can do it on your auto withdrawals. And then I picked a vendor. And so what I did was I just called Verizon, and Verizon's probably going to kill me for this. And I just said, hey, listen, I'm a customer. I've been a customer for a long time. Obviously, all this was totally true. And I keep seeing all these ads and promos about how, like, oh, call for free all around the world and for $9.99 a month or whatever it was. And I said, I'm paying X amount a month. Is there anything that you can do? Because I really don't want to switch carriers. And they were like, yeah, actually, you're on an outdated plan and we can put you on this plan. And guess what? I did. And I saved $50 a month. And $50 a month times 12 months a year was $600. That was like $600 just landed in my pocket for a 10-minute chat with Verizon. And really, I promise you, I've done it since then, and I've done it with a lot of different vendors. And it's no more difficult than that. But what's the trick? You actually have to spend the time to work on your business, not in it. That's kind of a bonus tip. And really decide that you're going to take this seriously. You're not going to have a hobby. You're going to have a business. So I'm Marley Major, and the book is But Are You Making Any Money? With the 3 ways you can make more money in your small business. And thank you so much for watching. And if you haven't already, if you would please like this video, leave a comment if you're so inclined, but definitely subscribe to the channel so you can get more tips like this. Thanks.